are at the Seattle Center, home of the world-famous Space Needle. Hi, I'm Les Parrott.
And I'm Leslie Parrott. Imagine this, a friend of ours in Omaha has a daughter who recently got married. This young couple, Brian and Anna, decided to take their honeymoon in the Pacific Northwest.
They'd never been here, never really traveled much outside of the Midwest, and they were pretty excited to explore the great Northwest.
Yeah, and they asked if we could sort of point them in the right direction, sort of help them out a little bit when they got here.
And the thing is, we were in a perfect position to help them out. I mean, we're not professional tour guides, but what we do have is our own experience of having lived here for nearly 2 decades now. Of course, we haven't explored everything, we haven't seen everything, been to every restaurant, but we have a lot of experience and can guide them along the way.
Anyway, it looks like they had a really great honeymoon.
Yeah, and as we thought about this, we realized it's a perfect analogy for what marriage mentoring is all about. We've had so many people say to us, well, I'd like to be a marriage mentor, but we don't have a perfect marriage, or I'm not a therapist, I'm not an expert.
The good news is you're not meant to be perfect.
It is so casual and so easy because it's one of those things that we're just friends. We're just friends building bridges across a lot of different issues.
Marriage mentoring is not having all the answers. Marriage mentoring is not being the perfect couple.
Marriage mentoring is being a friend.
I mean, role model sounds kind of cheesy, but I mean, I think that's a big part of it.
Marriage mentoring for us has been a shortcut. It's been that, you can take that long road around, or you can just get there right now.
Mentoring process is really what we should be doing as the body of Christ.
Absolutely.
Ongoing. It should be a safe place to ask questions, to get help, to be loved, to be shown grace.
You bet.
And so really it's just a formalization of what we should be doing every day.
Exactly.
But you notice how in some of these pictures, it's just one of them? Well, they got tired of asking people to take their photo, so they started taking the photos of each other. Now, would it have made any sense for us to drop everything we were doing just to travel with them so we could take their pictures? Of course not.
No, and in the same way, mentors aren't on call for every little need. You're also not a mom and dad or automatically best friends.
Right. This isn't about rescuing couples or performing miracles. It's about showing up on occasion and giving mentorees some perspective and a little direction on where they're headed.
You know, we've all heard the gloomy statistics about divorce. 1.2 million marriages end in divorce every year. And we've seen firsthand how mentoring can be a powerful factor in turning this tide.
You know, we're so isolated as couples these days. We end up going, especially in this very mobile culture, we move away from that extended family and we have basically just ourselves to be able to survive. So I think that's one of the things that the local church needs to step into and say, we've got to fill that void.
Not just for these new couples, but for couples in distress, and even for couples with good marriages who just were looking to create something great.
Yeah, in fact, we've studied marriage mentoring ministries and found that's exactly what happens. They tend to fall into these 3 main areas. So we developed what we call the marriage mentoring triad.
The first track is preparing engaged and newly married couples for marriage.
The second track is about maximizing good marriages into great marriages.
And the third track is about repairing marriages that are in distress.
And what's really exciting here is the big picture. I want you to get this. There are nearly 400,000 churches in the United States. If just 1/3 of these churches would recruit and train 10 mentor couples each, that would mean 1 million marriage mentors. Think of the difference that would make. And one of the coolest things about it is that most couples are surprised by how much it enriches their own marriage.
We call it the boomerang effect of marriage mentoring.
We started it thinking we had so much we could give, and we didn't realize how much we would get.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how often do you really sit down with your spouse and say, hey, remember when we did such and such?
We've been surprised at what we have gained. We've gained so much more in terms of just the relationship with these young couples and what it does for our marriage.
I think those kinds of things are real stimulating for more conversation after the session.
Not only are you giving into other marriages, but as a married couple, we receive so much from the couples that we mentor.
We would be reading a book or talking about communication, and we'd say, this is why we get stuck here. This is something we need. And so we started getting the tools.
But how do we get a marriage mentoring ministry off the ground? Well, one of the things we've worked on with pastors across the country is a way to structure an effective and relatively low-maintenance ministry.
Yeah, and one of the things we found to be so important is for the pastor to recruit a lead couple. Basically, this is a couple who will champion the marriage mentoring ministry for this church.
Yeah, the lead couple oversees the marriage mentoring ministry and recruits other mentors and mentorees for the 3 tracks of the triad.
We connect a mentor couple who has been very successful in an area that a mentoree couple may be struggling with. And when I say struggling, I mean it could just be that they're going to be having their first child, or they're newly married, or they may have gone through a financial crisis or something like that.
It's often incredibly helpful for both mentor and mentoree couples to meet together in small groups.
Absolutely, and for this reason, you might want to recruit small group leaders or lead a small group yourself.
We can't grow if we're not in a fertile field of believers helping us to hold us accountable. Also kind of ask questions, how did you deal with this? What's new here? And it almost, in essence, creates this artificial extended family.
One couple might say, well, we're having this problem. And another couple will say, well, we had that problem. And this is how we solved it.
Of course, there's a wide variety of materials available to you as marriage mentors, and we've developed a few resources that you might find helpful in each of these tracks.
Right. For the preparing track, we developed a series called Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. This is a series that focuses on some essential questions that couples need to ask before and after they marry.
For the Maximizing track, there are 2 series, Love Talk and The Time-Starved Marriage, that are designed to help couples take a good marriage to the next level.
And finally, for the repairing track, there's a series we call I Love You More that helps couples learn how to use their problems to actually make their marriage stronger than ever.
You can find these resources and many others that are specifically designed for marriage mentors on our website. Just log on to realrelationships.com.
The DVD series that you're going to watch over the next several sessions will guide you through the skills you'll need to become great marriage mentors.
That's right. Remember, just like we've got our landmarks here in Seattle, you've got your landmarks to share your own experience, your own marriage journey. And that, combined with the skills and tools you're going to learn about here on this DVD, this will equip you as you embark on the great adventure of marriage mentoring.